What's up, y'all? TYT Sports on this Monday. That is Jayar Jackson. I am Rick Strom. What you all need to do is if you want all of our damn free content on this network, go to tyt.com/app. The Boston Celtics, they kicked ass yesterday. Jaylen Brown, he is one of the men of this fine Celtics team that you were going to see right here who definitely put up some numbers. 23 points, 3 of 5 from downtown, 9 of 16 from the field. Here's the improvements he has made, JR, over the past few seasons. Look at his points per game. This is the regular season. Went from about 6.6 to over 14, a shade under 15. His three-point percentage improved by from 34 to nearly 40%. This is a huge improvement. And then how about just his three-point shooting? This is what I'm focusing on. The regular season this year, all right, 39.5,
almost 40, yep.
Almost 42 for the playoffs. That's how good he's been. The usage rate, you guys can see this as well. I think it's important, but Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown is who we're focusing on. Now here's some plays that I want to show you, okay? That I thought led to the Cavaliers' demise. But mainly Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum certainly putting in incredible numbers. So this is off the tip. The first play of the game, right? This is when you knew it wasn't their night. Jaylen Brown, then he sees a 2-on-1. This should be shut down completely, right? Well, actually, no, he actually gets an easy 2. Here was another one that Jaylen Brown had. Really difficult shot, Kyle Korver. I hate his defense, but he did play good defense on this possession. And then you're gonna see right here, hits a fadeaway jumper, hand in his face. Credit where credit is due, of course. Here's another one as well. Terry Rozier's calling for it.
Saying, someone wants the ball.
But look at Jaylen Brown, who has the ball in his hands. He sees the mismatch with George Hill. And I think that's LeBron. Go back for 1 second. LeBron isn't even hustling back defensively. So Jaylen Brown sees the matchup with George Hill. Well, he's obviously going to take him to the rack, scores an easy 2 on him. And then we continue on with Jaylen Brown. This was a really difficult shot. Jab stepping to his right and then hitting it on Kyle Korver. Jayson Tatum also had, Jaylen Brown hitting another corner 3 as well. And so on and so forth. Jayson Tatum put up 16 points in this game. You look at his shot chart right here. He was fantastic. Fantastic game for a kid who's 20 years old. Here he is coming off a screen with Aaron Baines. And then on top of that, hitting, sizing up J.R. Smith and then hitting a difficult shot with J.R. Smith in his face. So again, credit where credit is due. Here was another time where Jayson Tatum just realized that he had the mojo and had it going offensively. Yeah. This is, what, 80 feet from the basket? Yeah. 85 feet. So realizes that he has Jordan Clarkson on him right here. And this is where the Cavs, we're going to get into this in our next topic. But again, this led to the Cavs' demise. Jordan Clarkson cannot hold Jayson Tatum's water defensively. So here he is at the 3-point line. Looks like good defense. Euro steps around Jordan Clarkson, gets to the hole, easy 2. Here's another one in triple threat position. I believe that's Rodney Hood on him. Now everybody's spaced out. The middle of the floor is wide open. So Tatum realizes this. What does he do? Backs down, and then scores once again. Do you see where I'm going with this? So, all right, real quick, we'll pick this up. Your thoughts?
So, okay, so from those slides you were showing between just those 2 players, because it was obviously more than them, obviously, but those 2 had the kind of performance where it stood out and you're like, man, this is going crazy. They made, and specifically one particular play when he went, like you said, the 80 feet, when Tatum went all the way coast to coast. What happened?
Clarkson on it.
And also the first play of the game, as you said, the easy layup.
Jaylen Brown.
That Jaylen Brown had,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So right from the beginning, what they're doing is they're making decisive, good decisions. Not just decisive, oh, let me launch this 3-pointer, although they had plenty of those that also went, especially Jaylen Brown went in, but they were good shots. So they didn't panic, they weren't worried about the moment. And as I keep saying, because it was one of the best things J.R. Smith was saying, they did one of those mic'd up moments, and it was when they were playing the Raptors. And I think he was talking to Rodney Hood, one of his teammates, J.R. Smith was. And he goes, it's a confidence game. Right now it's a confidence game. You have to get your confidence going.
Very much so.
Here's the thing, everybody in the NBA, you know what they are? Good. Everybody in the NBA.
Wait. Hang on. Could you say that one more time?
Every player in the NBA.
Yes.
What they are is, they're good.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
It's just the truth. Sometimes people forget that when they go, oh man, you suck. No, actually he doesn't. He would have actually beat you 100-0 if you played against him.
He's actually playing professional basketball.
Right. So the thing is so what changes when you get to this level of competition and this level of professional sports is confidence and decision making at the right times, doing the right things. They did it so regularly during this game, it turned into a blowout.
It did.
When they saw an
First
opening,
quarter,
they took
it was over.
Yeah, when they see an opening, they took it. When they needed to make the right shot, they took that one. They made free throws, they made 3-pointers. When there was an extra pass, they needed. When they needed to fake a pass and go to the hole, they did that. It was exactly right. That's how you beat up on a team.
Let me get your take on this. Marcus Morris was asked about Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, who are so freaking young. Jayson Tatum cannot buy a beer in Boston. I know you guys consider them young, which they are, but they carry themselves like veterans in this league. Nothing they do surprises us. All right, let's backtrack for just a moment. Prefacing this entire story, okay, on Jaylen Brown. I'm still surprised that he's hitting corner threes like this.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised that he's in the triple threat position, jab stepping like he's Dwayne Wade and hitting fadeaway jumpers. Even if it is Kyle Korver on him, it was bad defense all around. There were spots where there was good defense. The one, if we're looking on the screen, first quarter, maybe second quarter, top left side of the monitor, and Jaylen Brown was in that triple threat position, jab stepping and scoring. I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised, and maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should.
That's a confidence game.
However, I'm surprised that he's turned around his shooting this quickly. The second year is not even fully complete, and he's already hitting these sort of shots. This is scary for the Boston Celtics.
Again, there's something going on within the locker room, and I know we give a lot of credit to Brad Stevens as far as the drawing up the plays and getting them in the right places at the right times.
Right.
But there is a culture of confidence in the locker room, and maybe it's amongst the other players. Maybe something Kyrie and the guys who are hurt are saying to them because they're not in there.
No, I think you're almost there.
But the thing is, like, so there's it's outside of maybe just the head coach, but there's an energy.
It's them being crapped on, is what it is.
Yeah, well, there's an energy going, and I love it.
Yes,
like you
totally.
respond instead of going. Again, there was energy against the Raptors, like, oh man, they're not gonna do it, and they instead of responding, they sucked it in and said, I can't believe that people keep saying this about us. Right. We should prove them wrong.
You're saying the Cavs against the Raptors?
No, the Raptors like getting crapped on all the time. They took it in. Celtics are like, no, we're gonna prove you wrong.
So I think it's that they have this mantra of, many of those pundits picked the Bucks. A lot of pundits picked the Philadelphia 76ers, huh? What we're seeing is the best basketball, and granted it's only one game, from Marcus Morris, who was awesome yesterday, hitting 3 of 4 from downtown. We'll get into the defense, as you're gonna see right here in just a moment, and many more. But what I noticed was, if it's not Rozier, it's Brown. If it's not Brown, it's Tatum. This is how balanced they are. Incredibly, so Al Horford also had a great game against Kevin Love. So let us know your thoughts. Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum were awesome. Hand in hand, the Cavs defense was awful. Here is what we saw. Again, to start this entire topic off, The opening tip was terrible. The defense was terrible. A 1-on-2 with Jaylen Brown going up against Kyle Korver and George Hill. He easily scores a bucket. On top of that, here's one of the worst defensive sequences that I have seen from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So you're playing the pick and roll. There's a double team on Jaylen Brown. He's going to skip to the right-hand side to Marcus Smart, which means LeBron James has a choice. Do you stay with Aaron Baines or do you stay with Semi Ojeleye? This is a poor decision from LeBron because Semi Ojeleye shoots the ball from three-point range at about 32%. So he goes over to Ojeleye, leaving, then I believe that's Rodney Hood, bottom left, to make a decision. Well, LeBron left. Do I go to Aaron Baines and not give up an easy two, or let Jaylen Brown beat me? LeBron screwed this possession up, and I'm not trying to be hard on him, but this one play was terrible defense. Because what you give up, if you're deciding between two, Jaylen Brown or Semi Ojeleye to shoot the three, you probably go with the seventh guy in your lineup and the second off the bench in Ojeleye. Jaylen Brown then had an easy three in the corner right there. And now you're looking at the defense like, what the hell possibly just happened? On top of that,
well, I mean, the first thing, I'm not sure why, maybe it was part of a pick or something, but just the double team at the top in the first slide. We don't have to go back to it, but the double team on Jayson Tatum when he wasn't in a position to shoot a three-pointer and doing any scoring already, they were double teaming there. Maybe it was some kind of switch. Again, maybe you see it in motion, but the fact that you started out of position, then you have to give that.
I'm okay with that though, because if LeBron played it correctly, then you're letting Ojeleye, who cannot shoot the three, shoot the three. If you're gonna let like Semi Ojeleye and Marcus Smart beat you from downtown, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Al Horford. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because then if Ojeleye hits the three-pointer, then it's the same idea. Like, oh, how come he's stayed low on the big man who can't score?
Though. Because it's like, all right, in the NBA playoffs, Dirk Nowitzki and that Dallas Mavericks team is like, all right, I'm gonna let anybody but Dirk beat me. Pujols gets up to the lineup in his prime. Mike Trout gets up to the lineup in his prime. I'm gonna let anybody beat me but Mike freaking Trout. That's what happened, and they didn't play it correctly. On top of that, here's another one. This is a screen and roll, simple screen and roll. Al Horford, because I believe Kevin Love is thinking, well, I can't let anybody's foot speed get past me. Yet he gave up too much distance to a guy like Al Horford in the screen and roll, and then he's gonna knock down the three. Here's the worst defensive sequence from the Cleveland Cavaliers defensively. This is a simple screen and backdoor cut. So that's Clarkson on Rozier, excuse me, and Hood on Jayson Tatum. What you're going to see is zero communication defensively with Clarkson and Hood. So again, Tatum's gonna go backdoor. Clarkson should take him.
He's already there.
And here's what happens. At least you thought. Can you explain to me this defense? This was atrocious, man.
Well, at this point, it could be the fact that they're down 17.
What, they're just frustrated, so they're taking themselves out of the game?
Sometimes, hey, that's why it's good. Again, you talked about the first play, and it's the third time we're gonna mention it. Off of the tip, Jaylen Brown takes the ball and goes to the hole. Yep. They exploded. And then, so this is me speculating.
Okay.
Cleveland was not shook. Shook means sounds like you're scared. Just like, whoa, you get shocked. And then you start forgetting small things like that. You're like, oh, I'm gonna cover my guy. I'm gonna stay on my guy. And you forget about your communication. You forget about your switches. You forget about leaving.
So what you're saying is it was mental for them and they got in their own heads.
Sometimes that's what
I don't think so. I think they're just bad defensively.
It's a championship style team. They weren't bad defensively against Toronto. They played good defense there.
Toronto doesn't have these weapons.
They were calm. But look, what kind of weapons? Look, this Boston is right now consistent half of their starters of backups, which would have been the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah, but now we're seeing how good Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum and Terry Rozier are. I understand what you're saying. This is a completely different game. It's not expected. This is a completely different game between Toronto and Boston. And the skill set is also there. Here's a few others that I saw. This was, let's see, okay, a perfect example of how Skip Bayless said they quit. They didn't quit. They just didn't get back defensively. Here's a tough shot from LeBron James, middle of the screen to the left of the hoop, okay? Now what ensues is a rebound from Al Horford. Three guys do not get back. That is George Hill, go back for 1 second, LeBron James, and then Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson 1, George Hill 2, LeBron James 3. Here's how they push the ball up the court. Now what you're gonna see is, oh, well, hang on a second. George Hill kind of got back, but it was way too late. Look at Thompson, look at LeBron. They're not even at half court.
Well,
and Marcus Morris gets an easy two.
LeBron, I will fault in that. Thompson was under the hoop when they were taking off running.
He was.
So I don't expect him to get under the rim in front of everyone else.
Oh, of course not, but it's to show the deficiency.
But look at the 3 Cavaliers in the paint. That's who should be backstopping that fast break. You have 5 guys on the floor. So if 2 of yours don't get back because they were under the hoop, okay, but you got 3.
Right.
It shouldn't be a 2-on-1.
I agree. It turned into a 3-on-2 and then into a 2-on-1 essentially.
Absolutely.
All right, on top of that, another simple screen and roll. Kevin Love was horrible with this in game 1.
Look at his feet.
Terry Rozier with the ball.
Look where his body's leaning.
Backwards. Backwards. Good point.
He's leaning back.
So in the pick and roll, you got 2 options. You're gonna wait for Al Horford to set the screen, which he does. You could make a really, really quick pass to Jaylen Brown, though it would be a difficult 3 because then they noticed Jaylen Brown was warming up. Okay, let's put LeBron on him to slow him down. And then what ensues? Al Horford wide open. There's Kevin Love. What happened to Kevin Love playing the pick and roll? Do you see what I'm saying?
Again, like you said, Kevin Love doesn't not know how to play the pick and roll.
Of course.
When you get socked in the mouth real fast and get blitzed, this is quick. It was quick. They're like, whoa. And they're trying to get it together. And next you know they're down by 15 and then 17 and then 20.
Here was Kyle Korver also not knowing how to stay with his man. This is a simple 2-man game between Terry Rozier and Al Horford, correct? Yep. So now watch the top right part of your screen. Once there's dribble penetration, Jaylen Brown's gonna have a wide open 3 right after that. I don't know how this continues to happen. There were many more, unfortunately we're out of time. So when we do return, Skip Bayless rips LeBron James. Oh, what a surprise. We'll see you in a bit.